What is up, peeps? Welcome back to another episode of Unreal Creations, our special series where we partnered up with Epic Games to showcase some amazing devs and what they're doing in UEFN, that being Unreal Engine Fortnite. Today's episode is one that, well, it might actually tug on some strings for a few of you guys, depending upon your relationship with your grandparents. And if you guys like thriller or horror, this special map is simply called Grandma, all right? It's made by a small dev team over at 3D Labs. I talked to 4 of them all at once, which they made it very difficult, and they dedicated an entire game to a spooky grandma. Hope you guys enjoy.
So I'm Dean, co-founder and CEO. I'm basically the lead programmer, but I also do a bunch of other stuff.
Hi, I'm Robert, also known as Bird Builds, co-founder together with Axel, and mostly environmental artist slash effects.
Hello, I'm Jake, otherwise known as Haunted. I'm an environment artist for 3D Lab, also a modeler.
All right, and I'll go last. I'm Adrian, also known as Rhinix, and I'm basically technical artist and 3D artist, and then just random things here and there.
We've been around since the start of creative. We all have, game dev-ish backgrounds, and we've worked on a bunch of stuff. In total, I think we've had like over 80 featured creations, and we've worked with like a bunch of like awesome clients. Again, Hoshino, Samsung, Pizza Hut, ITV.
And so how did all of you guys come together?
Initially, it was me and Bert. We was just jamming, basically building games. And then it was like, why don't we just build a team and start, doing this professionally? And then we grew to, who we have now over the years.
And you guys have lots of projects, but today I wanted to kind of focus on one. I know when we first got in touch, we're a bit past the spooky season, but we're talking about Grandma. So can you give me the inspiration? Obviously, I imagine horror / thriller came into play, but specifically the inspiration for a map like Grandma?
I was going to say, it kind of started as a joke because Axel or Dean kept saying, I want to make a game with a scary grandma. And then just randomly, we created this grandma model. And then in about 3 to 4 days, we built the whole thing and released it. So it was just like a fun joke project.
There's several games that exist in this genre already. We thought, let's take these game modes that we've seen in other platforms and try to make something out of it.
Yeah, I was going to ask if there was inspiration from the grandma itself. Did one of you guys have a creepy grandma, or it just so
I'm the person that made the grandma model, and I don't remember. I think we did look up just creepy grandma on Google, but none seemed to fit the style that we were going for. So it was just kind of like a freestyle sculpt. It just flowed.
You mentioned earlier that a lot of you guys have game dev experience at some point in your past, or personally speaking, and we've spoken to a variety of game devs. It's got to be so interesting with the establishment of UEFN as opposed to a traditional video game that might take months or typically years to get out there. You guys have spent 3 days. I'm sure a lot of work still in those 3 to 4 days, but you're able to turn around this map or this experience. From your angle, what's it like at having video game dev experience with now a game like Fortnite that you can quickly turn around your ideas? Is that a blessing? Has it been really fun? Has it been a bit of a difference than what you're used to?
I think UEFN has the best of both worlds. So traditionally, building a game it can take years. Fortnite already has all of the base tools ready to go. The camera's set up, your character's set up, movement is set up, multiplayer is set up. Just having that ready to go is amazing. And then you have UEFN on top of that, and we just put all our ideas into the engine, and we can literally have a game in as little as 3 days, just like Grandma. It's so great.
Gotcha. And then a difficult feature, something you hope that is going to see some progress in the coming years.
I would say it would have to be, it's normally called the 3 C's, which stands for camera, controls, and character. So for example, right now we have no way of modifying the player character, which, can be a little annoying sometimes. Same with the camera. It is in the roadmap that they're coming out with these camera controls, which is amazing. And then also the controls, we're just always in this, we're not able to make anything that's not a third person. Yeah.
Custom inventory or anything like that.
I just find it so interesting that the fact that you can turn a game around so fast, and I think people's attention spans while waiting to pay $60 for a game, and if they play it all the way through, it doesn't meet expectations, and they waited 3 years for it, as opposed to the amount of complaints you really can have about a game that was turned around in 3 days and it got you a couple of hours of fun. I don't know. This has been my first kind of sinking into playing these game modes that are made so fast. And like you said, there have been thousands upon thousands. So I feel like we're entering this new generation of now you have these independent or smaller teams that can turn things around so much faster. So It's interesting to me.
With UEFN, I think somebody that just has a passion for creating could start, because there's a lot of assets that Fortnite provides. But even like an expert, like a veteran from UE could, or from a different engine, could start out here. And it's a whole different way of creating. I think like mostly visual. You can pretty much start out with no experience.
Like with the grandma map, for example, I went and did most of the environment in that short span. If I wanted trash, I just had to look up trash in the content browser and go and place it in the environment. If I wanted a certain wall or texture or anything, all I had to do was drag and drop. This really just opens the doors for anyone who wants to get into the scene and just allows them to do this in short time frames. You don't need to fuss with. You have an idea, you have creativity, and you have some talent, you could start.
One of you, what would you say is like the funniest or the best part about a map like Grandma? And then what was one of those things, if you had any struggles implementing anything, was there anything difficult in turning this game over?
All right, I'm a little biased on this one because I actually voiced Grandma.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I had so much freaking fun voicing a character, and I was just screaming, making all these gurgling noises, and just, acting out, and it was amazing. Please listen to the screens, you'll love it.
I definitely will. Okay, what about a difficult part of this process? I know you said it was a fast turnover, but any gimmicks or any hiccups along the way?
Probably the AI, right? Just figuring out how to do that.
It was probably the most difficult part, but it wasn't necessarily too difficult. It was the first time that I know of where in Verse we have this AI API where we can basically take a guard, which is an NPC that walks around, and we can give it instructions in Verse to do certain things. So I coded that, and that was the first time coding an AI of anything in my life. It worked out pretty good for the game. Even though it's a little janky sometimes, it's still funny to see.
Last one for you, future plans for like the studio. I know you guys, again, you've mentioned multiple projects. Is there something big you're working towards that's going to have like a longer development cycle? Do you want to keep on expanding on current maps and games? What's the future goal for the studio?
Yes, we always have something coming out. We're actually working on multiple different projects now. We can't tell you what they are, but definitely we're fans of horror. So, there's more survival horror coming, bigger and better survival horror. Lots coming.
Just keep an eye out on us.
Yeah, what? You just all just chuckled at the same time.
Secrets.
And a reminder to all of you, if you guys know any Fortnite creators or UEFN devs, if you want their game or map showcased with us, please feel free to reach out, comment down below. Our DMs are always open to receive more. And it's just been so fun talking to all of these people from such a wide array of backgrounds and different games they have made. I'm not a fan of horror games, okay? I don't do well with horror. It's not me, but I could try. But as always, thank you to Epic Games for partnering up with us. I mean, we've been covering devs for probably a couple of years now over on Twitter. So for them to come to us to show some of these stories and for us to get to talk to these devs, it's just been really fun. And thank you guys for all of your feedback. Again, your comments mean a lot on these kind of series to show the devs actual support. So go follow them, go play their maps as well. But thank you all for watching Unreal Creations, and we'll see you back here next time for another fun episode. Till then, take care. Okay, ta-ta.